Starting without me? What the hell?
This is how we kick off our first special bonus episode.
Right. I'm ready. I promise.
Cool. You've always been ready. What's up, everybody?
Hey, welcome to
This is about what you
different
expect.
Style. Yeah.
For our very first bonus content mini episode.
Yep.
So we talked about doing these kind of additional content on YouTube.
Additional. Okay.
You got to pronounce the A especially.
Additional.
Yeah. Additional content on YouTube. Things that maybe things that are timely, like new things that come out, or things that we had mentioned in previous episodes and then didn't remember by the time we recorded the next episode, which is kind of what this is. So
yeah,
we talked about in our Oscars episode, which I believe is our very first one that we put up uncut on YouTube.
Okay.
We did an
episode
about the Oscars, and there were several movies that I had not seen that you had seen.
Yeah.
One of those movies was Promising Young Woman that I said I was going to see. I wanted to see. I was interested in seeing it. And then you had some interesting, or it sounded like it would be interesting takes on the movie that you didn't want to share until I had seen it. So that's what this conversation is.
Yeah, and I guess, as always, we should probably preface this with, we'll probably spoil the movie, because that's a lot of my opinions come from the ending of that movie, so...
Yeah, so spoilers for Promising Young Woman. It's a new movie, obviously, but it's a big Oscar movie, and a lot of people have seen it, so if you've seen it or don't care about spoilers, continue forward.
Right. If you have not seen it, want to see it because you've heard the hype, I would not suggest watching us for the moment.
Yeah.
Go to the next episode, or go watch our Fight Club. Go watch our Fight Club one.
Yeah.
Man,
Fight
I had
a lot of fun.
Fight Club. Oh my God.
So good.
Anyways, so you finally got around to watching Promising Young Woman.
So I saw Promising Young Woman, and...
Did you watch it with Christy?
No.
Okay.
I asked her if she wanted to. For one thing, she doesn't do movies with rape in them, even though this movie was pretty light on the rape. Conceptually, it's basically about rape. Rape and rape culture, I guess. So she was not that interested. And so I watched it without her.
I wasn't sure just because you never actually see rape.
Yeah.
They just talk about it in past tense. So I wasn't sure if she was going to watch it or not, just knowing that
after I've
you never
seen
actually see, which is nice. I appreciated that about the movie.
After I've seen it, I would say that she probably would watch it. She probably wouldn't have a problem with it. She mostly just has problems with the scenes where obviously people are like, it's in the moment, they're crying, it's terrible, it sucks. Those are not very good scenes generally. But this movie, it wasn't too bad about that. It was just more about... You had mentioned an interesting thing on the Oscars episode, which I kept thinking about while I was watching it, which is this movie doesn't really know what it is.
Yeah.
and I got
genre-wise.
Yeah, I got more and more confused as I watched it for that reason.
Thank you.
You're completely right. You start watching the movie, and I have the impression, and from watching the trailer, I did see the trailer, I got the impression that it's about this girl that has vendettas against these guys who are skeezy and gross and rapey. And so she kills them. She's like a serial killer.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like a kind of crime thriller where you're rooting for her the whole time.
Yeah, she's kind of
she's justified with what she's doing.
Right.
And that's not what the movie is really at all.
Yeah. When it's started and she goes out with the first guy, Adam Brody, and doesn't go out with him. She gets picked up at the bar by him and then turns on him. And then she does the quote unquote walk of shame at the next morning and has blood dripping down her arm. I was like, oh yeah, she killed him. This is going to be cool. And I'm interested in seeing a character that is obviously doing something bad, murdering people, but you feel completely vindicated and justified because she's a victim. And it kept like the whole movie over the course of it kept pulling back from that and like stepping away from that and choosing the safer choice every time something came up, something was revealed.
Yeah, she just like, okay, bye, be a better person, and she leaves. Every time that happened, I was like, but okay, I'm so lost.
Towards like the end, I was like, she's just pranking people. Like these are just gentle pranks that is supposed to make them think, but is ultimately not that significant.
Yeah, I don't feel that any of the characters that she does this prank or this trickery on, I don't feel any of them would have had like a lasting impression. I feel like it might be that character could, like Christopher Mintz Plasse, right? Yeah. I just kind of figured like, well, his character would probably not go to the bars to pick up women for a little while, but eventually his character is just going to go back to that same pattern, that same routine.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the way... I really liked the idea of what she was doing, of like the entrapment of it, to bring out, like to prove, these people are pretty shitty. Yeah, I really liked that, and I was really hoping for her to be technically a villain, but you root for her, you agree with her, and then it just, every time it ended with her like, now be better, and then she tells one of them like, there's more like me, so just be careful. And I was like, that's not gonna do anything. Like, okay. I really like her in the movie. I just lost her name, but the lead actor, the lead actress is awesome. Did you get? I know I had mentioned she kind of has like a Patrick Bateman from like American Psycho kind of esque, and I loved that. I love that. I thought it was.
I could totally see that.
Very impressionable.
Yeah,
but the mixed genre.
Yeah,
I don't think had she delivered such a strong performance, I don't think that movie would have been as popular. Is that fair to say?
Well, it's also like, I mean, it's a popular topic we're in a post-Me Too world, and especially in Hollywood, who likes to pretend that they're very into it, and when also nothing has really changed and nobody has really had any consequences. And that was also kind of part of my problem with the movie, is that you could have taken very severe sides, you could have shown more severe directions and impacts and things like that, but it kept backing away from that. I thought it would have been more impactful if she was the actual victim and not her friend. I thought it would have been more impactful if there's a lot of different things. And I have issues with the general, like, I guess, reality of the movie, which is I get disconnected from very pro-message movies for anything, but especially kind of like feminist movies, where there are no good guys in it, no guys that are good in it. Every single one's a piece of shit. The one you think is going to be good is also not good. Okay, but I'm going to pause you right there. It may have been one of the most predictable twists ever put in a movie. As soon as he showed up and asked her out, and they're like, "Oh, we know each other from high school," I was like, "Oh, he's one of the guys." Like he probably helped do the act, and he's like still friends with those people.
I was like, this is so obvious. He's going to turn out to be horrible, and it'll come at the worst time. And then That's exactly what happens.
Yeah. And I thought several times they could go another direction. Like maybe this is her learning to love, learning to move on. Like it was going so well. It was turning into like a love story, which is again part of the weird doesn't know what it is. Yeah. It's like, okay, now all of a sudden just very redemptive, very romantic montage. And then Bo Burnham is so likable. I like him and everything. But yeah, it was just so weird and disconnecting that nobody's good. Every guy is terrible, which is not like reality. And also, it's just very politically correct, I guess, in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Like, putting it out there, obviously I'm aware. I am a white man, a straight white man, and so my opinion doesn't count, but...
You're going to get us canceled before we ever really, like...
Yeah, we're not going to have a YouTube at all in about 5 minutes. But it's so obvious that, like, that's the message, is that all of these white guys are bad. The one black guy in it, who's hilarious, I love him as an actor, the one black guy in it is, like... He gets in trouble, and he has that thing where she tells him there's more of us like me, or there's more girls out here, so stop picking them up, kind of thing. He runs off, like, crying, and he's like, white men ruin it for everybody. And I was just, like, shaking my head. I was like, what is happening?
Yeah. Okay, we're just going to go into it. For most of the movie, I was like, okay. Mm-hmm. The ending's gotta... I figured the ending would only go one of two ways.
Okay.
I was like, obviously she's going to confront Di.
Mm-hmm.
That she's been, like, kind of hunting down this whole movie. Obviously they're going to have a confrontation.
Right.
It was like, it's either going to end with her killing him or him killing her. Mm-hmm. Like, just... It's the only way this movie can end, is one of those two.
Right.
And then she shows up to the party, and this is the biggest glaring... It doesn't know what genre it is. Mm-hmm. When the best friend of the main perpetrator...
Yeah.
It's Schmidt from New Girl.
Right.
Which, I love him as Schmidt in New Girl. He's hilarious. Yeah. And he's a good actor. But he played Schmidt from New Girl in Promising Young Woman just without actual, like, feelings. Whoa, what?
Typecast.
Yeah. My computer just said it's not.
Well, there you go. That's how our first episode's going. That again.
I don't remember what the last thing I said was. Oh,
you're talking about the
Schmidt, but more douchey and without fit. Yeah, okay. Hey,
we're back. It's going well.
Glitchiness, sure. Yeah. So Max Greenfield, he basically plays Schmidt again, but if Schmidt never had any humanity or feelings or anything, he just plays a super douchey version.
All the growth he lost.
Yeah, but then it's like, so I forget the main villain's his name.
He's the producer from Glow.
From Glow, right? And so Max Greenfield plays his best friend, rapist.
Yeah, they're in collusion together.
Yeah, it's gross, but like, so, she gets killed, which I will give the movie credit. Her death scene is pretty intense.
Yeah,
because it takes so long. It feels like a more realistic death scene.
I agree.
At least to me, it just felt like, ooh, yeah, there's a lot of struggle here. This is... Yeah. But then, like, the next morning, she's dead. And Max Greenfield is comedic about it.
Yeah.
Like, did you ever see the movie Very Bad Things from the late 90s?
I don't think so.
So it's about a bachelor party where a stripper dies, and it's a dark comedy. But immediately, I just started thinking of that movie during that whole, and it was like, oh God, why? I don't get the direction that this movie's trying to do. And then I was like, well, obviously she's going to have a backup plan, and it became more and more obvious of how the movie was going to go.
Yeah.
But it never knew what genre it actually wanted to be, and that's my biggest complaint about Promising Young Woman.
Yeah. I kept wishing that it would make it more meaningful or more powerful. Like if she was more committed to, I guess I kind of just really wanted her to kill them. That would have been awesome.
Right.
And then I was left with the message, which is certainly not the message the movie wanted, which was, hey, if you just didn't go there to that house, you wouldn't be dead now. And I know it's not the message because they say earlier in the movie when they're talking about, hey, maybe girls shouldn't go to these bars and get drunk and be vulnerable. They treat that like it's shaming. It's like slut shaming. It's like a bad thing to even bring up, but it's kind of realistic. Like if you don't want to find flies, don't go where there's shit. You know, it's like there's going to be shit
going to that. Yeah, her going to that bachelor party alone and dealing. I was like, man, this is just.
With no
it just confirmed, like, yeah, this is all bad. And it confirmed to me, like, oh, okay, she will die.
Yeah.
Like, she's either going to get killed by the one dude. And, it became more of me trying to figure out, all right, is she going to die from the one guy? Or is this going to turn out to be, like, her friend's experience all over again? But now she's... Oh. And I was like, I really hope...
Terrible.
That wouldn't be where they go.
Yeah.
And I was glad that's not where it went. But I think you said it really well. It does a lot of things where you're like, ooh, here we go. And then it pulls back at the last second. Obviously, the epilogue of the whole thing with the wedding being ruined and everyone getting arrested. I was like, okay.
It's a little vindication, yeah.
Obvious way to conclude this. I'm glad that they did have that. That way you don't leave that movie just feeling so gross.
Yeah.
And kind of lost. I don't know. And I've actually been thinking about it a lot because I'm like, man, this movie, being a male, I'm like, am I allowed to not like the movie? Like, is there something wrong with me for not wanting to really care about this movie?
Yeah.
Like, I really like her in it.
Right.
But the movie, I don't know.
The problem is I wanted to like it. I liked the idea that I thought it was going to be. Yeah. I really would have liked her to be a girl who kills these guys who don't deserve to live because they're pieces of shit, basically. I liked parts of it. I like the idea that it kind of worked on towards the beginning, which is there are a group of guys who think that they're nice guys, and they're actually not. They're actually really terrible, and they kind of rely on the nice guy persona when they're obviously not nice guys. And that's, so I do think there's a group of people like that. I think that that's significant and real and worth showing, but it just it didn't have enough catharsis or enough payoff. It just kind of started doing something, and then it was like, oh, either just pulled the rug out from under you, or made something a little bit too simple or too easy. So it could have been more for sure. And that's why I'm disappointed. Not just because it's like modern.
I should say I didn't hate the movie. I really didn't. I don't think it's like a bad movie.
No.
I think there was a lot of missed opportunity for that story. And that, all the missed opportunities, and we have no idea what genre we're trying to make, that really bothered me. Sometimes movies can get away with that, where they can kind of like have moments of several genres, and it works great. This is not one of those movies. It needed to either be straight like dark comedy or very crime thriller. It needed to be one or the other, not a whole mixed bag.
Right. Yeah. I'm just remembering all the parts where, like, and there were cool parts that were commentaries on women who enable that as well. Like Alison Brie's whole story. I was like, oh yeah, Alison Brie is like involved in this situation, and then her vengeance or vendetta against her was going to be cool, and then ended up being like, no, you just kind of got drunk, and then this guy took care of you for a while and let you believe that something happened. Or Connie Britton, who I also love. I love all of these people. That's the hard part. Is I love Connie Britton. I love Alison Brie. And when she like had Connie Britton, she was like, "Oh, I have your daughter. She's hanging out with these boys. Boys will be boys. Like, you have nothing to worry about if you are."
That scene is probably, to me, the most impactful scene.
Yeah,
I felt that scene's great because immediately I was like, "Oh, I would kill her. I think I would actually like." Murder her on the spot just for making this claim. Right.
Oh, for sure. And and then it's just like, oh no, she's just at a diner by herself, not doing anything. It's like, I don't think that anybody learned their lesson really.
Yeah, I don't think there would be lasting character changes for anyone that she interacts with. I think they would all very quickly and very easily just fall back into their same routine.
Yeah.
And that's a big disappointment too, because if her whole idea is to teach people a life-altering lesson,
right,
the mark was missed.
Yeah. So that's Promising Young Woman, I think, in a nutshell. Yeah, I'm interested and a little concerned about the other things that I care about that may now be uneven. As this, I don't know how much of that was directing, how much of that was writing, how much of that was what, but I do know what's her face who directed it, Emerald Fennell.
Okay, yeah. So that was my next question to you. The Zatanna movie. So after you saw this, I know I had told you I have some reservations just because I felt it was a little messy writing. What are your thoughts? Like,
I have lots of concerns. I have concerns it will be Birds of Prey 2, Electric Boogaloo. but less Deadpool-y and more uneven as far as comic book genre, drama, camp, satire. I don't know what it's going to be. So I definitely have reservations now. I'm less excited.
Yeah. See, I had a feeling. A feeling, but thanks for the affirmation. I think it would be really interesting if Christy watched this and then to get Christy's thoughts on it.
Yeah. It would be good because she is not a man. And so she could tell us what is actually going on.
Yeah, because
she could tell us why we're dumb. Yeah. Maybe it's great. Maybe I don't get it.
Yeah. That might be it. And if that's the case, cool. We're just a couple schmucks that watch movies a lot.
Right. And not every movie's for every person, so I don't need it to be for me.
Right. So that's our little mini take on that movie.
Yeah. Let us know. I know there are a lot of things that we have mentioned in previous episodes that we've forgotten to give a status update on or get around to again. So if you remember one, let us know. And we will do one of these for it.
We'll try to remember to do that.
We will start a list.
We are trying.
That's all you can ask. All right. See you guys
Thanks,
later.
everybody.